Good afternoon, everyone. The president shows up. When the Trump administration arrives in a Democrat-run city engulfed in chaos, peace is restored, law and order is upheld. Washington, D.C., New York, Seattle, Portland, Minneapolis, Kenosha. All of these cities are Democrat-run. All of these cities have experienced anarchy, violence, and destruction in recent days, the opposite of a peaceful protest. This is the reality facing American cities and towns across the country. This is not hypothetical. These are real people and real lives that have been impacted. Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler rejected federal law enforcement in an irrational and tone-deaf letter. Mayor Wheeler might have thought he put political points on the board, but the very next day, a protester was shot and killed on the streets of his city. Before the Trump administration took action in Kenosha, businesses were burned, property damaged, and chaos was rampant. Then, nearly 1,000 National Guard troops and 200 DOJ personnel were deployed at the request of local officials. President Trump showed up, and law and order arrived. Nationally, according to the DOJ, 300 have been arrested and 302 charged amid riots and unrest. Democrats are late to the game. I've stood behind this podium and highlighted this issue for months. While this president is always willing to show up, it is incumbent on Democrats to step up. Invite federal law enforcement in. We stand ready. Do not tolerate anarchy, violence, and destruction. Rioting is not right. Secure your streets. President Trump will visit Kenosha, Wisconsin tomorrow. This president will show up. He will go to cities where Americans are hurting. And with that, I'll take questions. Kayleigh.
So he's going to Kenosha tomorrow. Does the president have any plans currently to meet with Jacob Blake's family?
Currently, the plans are to meet with local law enforcement and some business owners, and he'll survey the damage. But there will be more detailed plans forthcoming that are announced.
Okay, so no, he's not scheduled to meet with them.
Not currently.
And I know that there's been outreach from the White House. Who has the White House reached out to in Jacob Blake's family, and why has there not been a connection made since he was shot and hospitalized?
So I refer you to what the Chief of Staff's office has tweeted. They've detailed that outreach, and part of it has been to the pastor and part of it directly to the family. Yes, Ben.
Kayleigh, the president was asked on Friday if he thought the shooting of Jacob Blake was justified, and he said that he didn't like the sight of it, but that he was going to learn more about it. Now that a couple of days has passed, does the president think this shooting was justified or unjustified?
I'd refer you back to the president's remarks. There's an investigation ongoing, so I spoke to him earlier, and he was not willing to weigh in more than he had, but he'll have a briefing this afternoon that you can ask him more about.
So based on what he's seen, he doesn't have any further thoughts on whether that's appropriate.
I'd refer you back to his comments over the weekend and just say there's an ongoing investigation.
Just one other thing. Does the president condemn the actions of Kyle Rittenhouse, who is accused of shooting some of the protesters?
The president is not going to, again, weigh in on that. You can ask him this evening. He may weigh in further, but at the moment, he's not weighing into that.
Yeah. So why did the president like a tweet that said the alleged shooter Kyle Rittenhouse was a good example of why I decided to vote for Trump? Can you help us understand?
Well, I think I did ask him about that tweet and the like in particular, and he just wanted to bring some attention to some of the details that aren't as well known in that case, that the individual was being attacked, and that one of the individuals who arrived on the scene did have a gun. So there were some details that were not public or as public as they should be, so he was referring to that with the like.
Does he want to